All right, and I'm going to share my screen. Everybody see it?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, well, welcome to our first Thursday night meeting. As we head into the playoffs, I appreciate everybody that could join and those that join as the session goes here. As I mentioned, everything that we do tonight will be up on our YouTube channel. And I really encourage everybody to check this out because there's some important information as we head into playoffs. So first off, let's take a look at the semifinals coming up this week. On behalf of the executive, I want to congratulate everybody that was assigned a semifinal game this weekend, as well as final games next weekend for both high school and all the minor games as well. The biggest thing I want to throw out here on this slide is make sure you're prepared for everything. It's playoffs. Teams are going to be trying different ways, different plays, different formations. I'm going to give you a great example. So last week we had Moncton High versus Riverview. And you knew going into the game, it was going to be a tough one for Moncton High. So in our coaches meeting with Coach Olenek, he advised us that he had a couple things he wanted us to be aware of. And one of those was when Riverview was kicking against the wind on a kickoff, his plan was to have one of his deep backs receive the ball and kick it back with the wind against Riverview on a kickoff. That was their plan in their pregame. Well, Dunfield was my referee. We started thinking about it. The second that back kicks the ball downfield, we've got to start worrying about who's onside. And on a kickoff, anything can happen. Plus, yards have to be given. There's a whole whack of things that we had to start thinking about as a crew. Plus, does that kicker receive protection? And if you're in a kick, if he's not in a normal kickoff position, kicking position, it's more ruled like a quick kick. So this is the weekend, white hats. Make sure in your pregame you discuss, you go out of the normal boundaries of your pregame discussions and talk about anything wild that you think might come up with these teams. They will do whatever it takes to win this weekend. So make sure that we're prepared heading into the game. All right. Outside of that, does anybody have any comments about any of these games coming up? But anything special we should know about these teams heading into the semifinal weekend? Going once, twice, three times. All right, so that's it for this slide. Again, just make sure you're prepared for everything heading into these assignments coming up. And remember, the biggest thing, we've heard this over and over, for a lot of these players, it could be their last time on a football field. So make sure we are ready to go. And speaking about getting ready to go, we are going to have a quick little presentation here from Mr. Kingston, and he's going to just go through a couple slides with us on what we need to do to get ready for the games coming up. So Jack, go ahead. I'm going to move the slides for you. Here's your first one.
Wonderful. Making sure that everybody can hear me. Someone give me a thumbs up. All right. Well, first of all, Ray asked me to do this. It wasn't my idea, but nonetheless, I'm happy to be doing it anyway. I kid. Anyway, I'm going to go through a little, I've done a few, playoff and final assignments myself, and just wanted to give a little incentive into what I've done to prepare for it. And the first thing I want to talk about is remember the 5 Ps, which is preparation prevents piss poor performance. Everybody knows this, guys. We're getting late into the year. before your game, get a good night's sleep. I know I'll probably be asleep tonight by 10:30 before the ball game ends, so I'm in good shape. Make sure you go into the game focused. Let's talk about stuff in the pregame, and let's talk about team tendencies and all that stuff. Be ready to prevent fouls. This is, guys, like we've been doing all season long. We're not here to throw flags. We're here to help the teams and prevent fouls and talk to the teams on both sides of the ball. Talk to them where we need them to be, and let the players decide the outcome of this football game. That's what they're here for. As Ray said, this is a big game for the kids. Let's let the players, not the officials, decide the outcome. We're here to make sure we're taking care of safety and applying the rules the right way. But preventative officiating is the key, as you guys hear me say ad nauseum. And also, guys, know your team's tendencies, as I talked about. Review your assignments. Work with your partner, be it the referee / umpire, be it the back guys and the side guys. Talk to your guys about what you're going to do and what could happen on any given play. One thing that Bill Pickrell brought up to me a couple games ago, which was a good point, we didn't discuss field goal preparation very much in the pregame meeting. And obviously, as a referee of that game, I own that. But one thing I want to allude to, guys, especially this late in the season, pregame discussion is not only the referee's job. And what I mean by that is work with your aforementioned partners and talk about field goals. Bring anything up in this game that the referee doesn't bring up. We're a 5, 6, 7-man crew, as the case might be. And we need everybody talking in those pre-games. It's not, the referee's your leader in particular game, but we're all there. We're all appointed, and we're all there to give input. Ray, next slide, please. These games should all be close, guys. So what I will say to that is be ready for overtime. While it's the referee's job to be ready for said overtime, he's going to keep his coin in his pocket in case there is a situation in which we have overtime. The coin flip options, just as a reminder, the winning team gets to decide whether they want to take offense or defense. Any smart team will probably take defense. Which end of the field they want to play from is the next option to the team that does not win the coin toss. My recommendation, should there be overtime in any of these playoff games, guys, in addition to the captains, bring the coaches out to center field for the coin toss, explain the rules of overtime, how it's a shootout format, and make sure everybody understands and are on the same page when you start said overtime, because it's a little goofy and not everybody understands it. So communication is going to be key. Talk to your players, talk to your coaches, make sure they understand the rules of overtime. And if you're in the crew, guys, don't worry that it's overtime. Officiate, let the play come to its natural conclusion. Let the referee and the umpire decide what goes on. A reminder, the only fouls that generally carry over on an overtime period are major fouls, OC and UR. Guys, if a fumble happens in an overtime play and you're not the referee, just deal with it as you would for any other play. Don't get intimidated that it's overtime. It doesn't matter. Let the referee and the umpire earn their cash and talk about what the result of the play is going to be. Next slide, please, Ray. And last and the biggest thing to take away from this, guys, I know we get a lot of veterans on the call, so it might not be pertinent to everybody, but just go out there and do your football game. You guys have done this all season. You've earned being there. It's a big game for you guys. It's a big game for the teams. Go out there prepared, have a good time, enjoy yourself, do your regular football game. Know you've earned it. And if you don't go out for beers with the crew at the end, you suck and I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's the end of the year. Go out, have a beer with your crew, talk to your buddies, talk about the season, and rejoice and have some fun that you got those big playoff assignments. Any questions from anybody? Or any points of people that want to elaborate anything I've talked about today?
So I just got a question for that, for the overtime. So who has choice? Is it still the visitor's choice to call it in the air?
That is correct. The visitor's choice, so the visiting team shall call it in the air. The winner of the coin toss shall get to choose whether they'd like the ball or defense first. After that, the other team gets to decide which end of the field they'll play the game on, i.e. 35 and in, the west end, south end, north end, etc.
My next 3 slides are on the overtime procedure. So we're going to go through it in a little bit more detail as well.
Again, the last thing before you segue, Ray, and thank you for your time. I would say, guys, don't worry that it's overtime. I want to stress this. If you're in the crew, just pretend it's a regular time period. Don't get intimidated and officiate the play to its end. That's the one thing I like anybody to take away from overtime possibilities. Ray, over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kingston. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us and go through these slides. It's like Jack said, these are big games, but just ref it like ref it like every single game you've ref this year. Just be prepared heading into the game. So great job, Kingston. All right, let's talk about overtime. In regular season, we don't have to worry about this at the high school or minor level. As far as this weekend goes, we are going to have to start thinking about this. Referees, make sure heading out for an overtime period, you still have that coin in your pocket because you're going to need it. And so basically, we are going to be doing overtime based on the CFOA rulebook. And that is immediately after the conclusion of the 4th quarter, the officials will instruct both teams to retire to their respective team areas. The officials will assemble at center field to review the time-breaking procedure. So that's just to make sure we as a crew all fully understand what's going to be taking place on the field. We're then going to ask the captains, and like Jack said, great suggestion, have the coaches come out to center field as well so they fully understand how the overtime procedure is going to be taking place. The winner of the coin toss will choose offense or defense starting at the opponent's 35-yard line. The person that loses the coin toss will decide the second option.
Whoa. Now, the winner of the coin toss can choose either offense or defense, or if they want, they can select what end you're going to play at.
Right. They're going to
Okay.
make one of those
That's a good
choices.
point.
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Yeah. Because win may be a factor, right? Let's go over to slide 2 here. So here we go. So the loser of the toss shall exercise the remaining option of the first extra period and shall have the first choice of the 2 options for the subsequent even numbered extra periods.
So Ray, out of an abundance of clarity, and sorry, the options are offense, defense, or choose the end of the field you wish to scrimmage from
Right.
to the winner of the coin toss.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about extra periods. An extra period provides teams the opportunity to put the ball in play by snap or on or between the hash marks of the opponent's 35, except if B scores during a Team A possession. Each team retains the ball until it scores or fails to make a first down. The ball remains alive after a change of team possession until it is declared dead. Does everybody understand that?
Officiate to conclusion.
Right.
Which includes a convert. If they're going for a 2-point convert or the ball is fumbled and team B recovers, just like in regular time, the play is over.
Yeah.
You can't run a convert back and score. It's over.
Scoring. The team scoring the greater number of points during an extra period shall be declared the winner. If the score is still tied after 3 extra periods having been played, any subsequent touchdown must be followed by a 2-point conversion. Okay, so after 3 overtime periods, if we're still tied, we're going to start the 4th series And if you score a touchdown, you must go for 2. All right,
Ray, once again, out of an abundance of clarity, remind me what a series of consists of.
so a series is after each team has gone through a series on offense. Okay. And last but not least, there's no timeouts during overtime play.
And no technical timeouts.
No technical timeouts. I really encourage you guys to do some homework heading into your games. Check out the casebook, 361 to 3612. It's all on overtime play. And it gives some great scenarios about if team A throws an interception to team B, and on the return, team B fumbles the ball, A recovers and takes it down to the B 8-yard line, who has possession of the ball. So go check out the casebook. Again, like Jack said earlier, the referee and umpire is going to make a lot of these decisions, but the more knowledge you have of the casebook is going to help throughout this game. So please check out this casebook, this particular 361 to 3612 heading into your games. They may come in play. All right, we've only got a few more. Well, we got a few more slides here, and then we've got a few videos. I don't see Al Gates on the call yet because this is Al's presentations. We're first going to look at the 6-man positioning, and we have some videos. The problem with the videos with Al's slideshow, I don't know why with PowerPoint we have this problem, but I can't play the video inside PowerPoint. It keeps crashing. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go through all Al's slides, and then we'll go through the videos afterwards where I have some control of the video. All right?
Can I interject one thing first?
Yes.
There is one technical timeout during the whole overtime. I just went and checked the regulations. I thought there was, and I just checked it.
Okay.
1 per team for the whole overtime, not per series, for the whole overtime.
That's in the most recent protocol, Andrew?
That's online with NBIA football regulations. I thought there was one, but I wasn't sure, but yes.
Okay.
It says 1 per overtime teams. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not per series, per overtime. So
So if they use it in the first series
it's
and this
done.
goes to 5 series, they can't ask for a technical timeout later in the overtime.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Communicate and you won't need it. So
Yeah. All right, let's go to Al's slides here. Playoffs, we're going to be in 6-member crews. And the first slide he wants to talk about is regular kickoffs. So again, in a 6-man crew, you've got the referee on the kickoff line, 10 yards up, you've got the umpire. Your sideline officials are on the 40, and your deep side guys are down with the returners. It's really important to know who's responsible for what on the kickoff. Okay. So the deep guys, they're responsible for the first wave of attackers, which are usually the first 2 returners on the outside coming downfield. They're responsible for that first wave. And your sideline officials are responsible for that second wave coming downfield, the inside players on the kickoff. And then your referee umpire are responsible for the remaining players in the middle of the field. If the ball is kicked towards the referee's side of the field, he's going to stay along the sideline, and the umpire on the opposite side will cheat into the middle a little bit, and vice versa. If it's right down the middle of the field, that's where the referee and the umpire should be having a pre-game discussion, who's going to be coming into the middle of the field there. That's basically what all these notes that Gates has here. Does anybody have anything they want to add or any questions about kickoffs in a 6-man system? No. All right, so this is where the video would come in. We're going to do all the videos at the end. Obvious short kickoffs. Okay, so in a 6-man system, the umpire is going to bump up to the line with the referee. Your sideline officials are going to bump up 10 yards downfield, and your deep officials will be around the 40. Okay. I'm going to throw this out to the room, so I'm not the only one talking here. What are the referee and umpire looking for on a short kickoff?
Offsides.
Offsides by the kicking team. Yeah, that's one of the things they're looking for. What else are they looking for?
Making sure that the kicking team does not initiate contact on the receiving team.
Exactly. So what would the sideline officials be looking for 10 yards downfield?
Ball traveled 10 yards.
Ball's got to travel 10 yards. What else would they be looking for?
Last touch.
First touch and last touch, depending on the play. Right?
And who recovers it and where.
Right.
One of the things that I have suggested, I'm referee for one of the games on the weekend. One of the things that I intend to do as a way to focus the crew is on the initial kickoff, we're going to set up as a short kickoff situation. That focuses guys on the game, and it also gets you thinking about, okay, what are my responsibilities? What am I looking for? Does the ball go 10 yards? Who touches it? Where do they touch it? Who recovers it? There are so many things that happen so quickly. And it's one of those situations where before you even show up in the dressing room, you've got to review this and you've got to know your responsibility and be prepared for it. The referees of this weekend and next weekend have to ensure that the crew is totally focused when they go out on the field.
Great points, Bill. One other thing I want to talk about on the short kickoff in Canadian football, one of the plays we've always seen is the kickoff going out towards the sideline and a person on the kickoff team running down, jumping up and batting the ball out of bounds. What is a very important detail we have to worry about now on that particular kind of play?
But the player comes back.
Out of bounds. Either the ball or the player has to land in bounds.
Exactly. That player has to land in bounds. If he jumps up in the air and bats the ball out of bounds and lands out of bounds, we got a ball that's traveled out of bounds on that kickoff. Okay, so make sure on short kickoffs, your bean bags are handy because you may need those on a short, if an actual short kickoff takes place. You're going to want to know where the ball was touched, who first touched it. There's a lot of different things you're going to know, and you can use your beanbag to mark those things on the field. Any other comments about short kickoffs before we move on? Okay. Plays from scrimmage. Plays from scrimmage. So one of the most important things on a 6-man crew is you got to know your responsibilities and know your keys off the snap. Okay? And again, we should really be reviewing this in our pregame discussions. Who has who off the snap of the ball? Just looking at some of Al's keys here. Communicate with your partners. Who's free? Who's held? If I'm the deep sideline official and I'm on the sideline, I can let my sideline guy know you're held. That's how you know if you're held in a 6-man crew. Don't ball hawk. So if the ball is out of your zone heading into another official zone, officiate what is in your zone in a 6-man crew. The big thing in a 6-man crew, well, in any crew, okay, you have to move with the play as well. So if we have the ball come out to the wide side of the field, these officials standing on the sideline are not helping in a 6-man crew. We need these officials to move off the sideline and watch the backside of this play. So make sure you're getting off your sidelines in the playoffs. If this ball is snapped on this particular play here, the wide side official is the free official and needs to be moving downfield, because if we have a pass out to this side of the field, this official needs to be making their first initial contact downfield to help out this deep official with this call on the outside, especially if it's out near the sideline. Any comments about this slide? No?
Oh, just one quick comment. Even though the moving official is moving downfield, he still has, he has the outside guy.
He's
right?
got this, this is his key right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can't forget his key.
Yeah. How long do we hold a key for, Fowler?
Hold him till he's out of trouble or out of risk. We used to say 5 or 10 yards, but we don't do that anymore. You stay with him as long as he's in jeopardy. If he's in there and he's cut across the middle, there's probably just a linebacker waiting to pop him. So you got to stick with him.
Yeah. Any other points?
Are you doing punting later, Ray?
We will be, yeah. Let me ask you this. Who's responsible for counting offense in a 6-man crew?
Referee, umpire.
Okay, who's responsible counting defense in a 6-man crew?
Your deep guys.
Keep guys.
Right. And those deep guys should be checking off just like your referee and umpire. Okay. We're going kicks from scrimmage. So here's your punts. Okay, so in a punt in a 6-man crew, we've got the line of scrimmage guys are on the line of scrimmage. What's the key thing about those line of scrimmage guys in a 6-man crew on a scrimmage kick?
I know.
What's that?
I know.
Oh, Al's here finally. Al's here. Both those sideline officials are held. You are held until the ball takes you off the line of scrimmage. We have to make.
And they are the two officials, one of the two, that will be the ones to decide to blow a play dead if there's no opportunity to give yards.
What's the biggest difference in a 6-man crew versus a 5-man crew as far as positioning goes?
The umpires in the backfield.
The umpires on the offensive side of the backfield.
If he remembers.
if you remember.
Or you've got a good referee to remind you.
That's right. Chris is my next game, right?
One more person.
The other key thing I wanted to point out here too about the deep sideline guys. Do you see how Al has got both these sideline guys don't have to start out right on the sidelines. It's okay for one of them to be inside with the returners.
Ray, whoever was deep on second down and the play, let's say incomplete pass, so the ball's being set at the exact same spot, that deep guy stays where he is.
Right.
They shouldn't be retreating to the sidelines. We should always have a guy in the middle of the field in a 6-man.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions about punts in a 6-man formation?
Just something to note on the kick. The referee has the kicker and the wall in front of him. The umpire is responsible for the center and the 2 guards, making sure they get their release in the first few yards downfield. The line of scrimmage guys have the tackle and the end as they get their release and they start on their way downfield as well. Those are your keys before you go to zone coverage, and sometimes we forget about that.
Yeah.
I'll shut up now.
No, that's a great point, Fowler. Here's the other thing I want to talk about is on the return. Okay, so let's say the return is caught here and it comes downfield to the 20-yard line. What changes between the deep sideline official and the side official?
The deep side official has the ball return until he gives it up to the line of scrimmage official.
Yeah, their roles basically switch. They switch. The sideline official essentially becomes the deep official and make sure you're staying well ahead of a play and officiating it, keeping the play in front of you. So you have responsibility for the goal line. So keep moving downfield, keep that play in front of you, let it come to you, and know that you have responsibility for the goal line should it come all the way downfield.
And the other thing to think about in the scenario you described, Ray, is that the down judge in that particular situation is looking ahead of the play. He's looking for those illegal blocks, the lead blocker. The deep guy on the outside is following the sideline and being more aware of what's going on around the ball carrier.
Yeah.
But just know you got to very quickly change your responsibilities and know what you've got to do.
And it's happening very quick. So that's why having that communication with your sideline partner before the kick even takes place, it just gets you in the mindset in case we have a big return by the return team. Okay. Al, I'm going to show all the videos at the end of the presentation.
Not a problem. We can go through them next. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk about field goals. So field goals, we've got the sideline officials on the line of scrimmage. We have the umpire back in the defensive side of the ball. And we have our 2 deep guys underneath the poles. So let's first talk about the deep side guys. What is the most important thing pre-snap under those posts?
Communication.
Communication. What are you communicating?
I always say, why my side? I say, why your side? You go, or I go.
Okay.
That's something that needs to be discussed. Jack alluded to it earlier. That needs to be discussed in the pregame, but also when you're down there under the post, restate it so that everybody knows. I've seen situations where communication is broken down and nobody covered what they were supposed to. So make sure you know what your responsibility is. Where you, if it's wide your side, where are you going and what are your responsibilities?
And maybe have a conversation how you're going to communicate who's making the call on mine, yours. Okay? Like somebody should make that call of the two people underneath that pole. And if it's wide your side, you're staying. If it's not on your side, what's your responsibility?
Ball line.
No,
No,
The back of the end zone.
You gotta go to the dead ball line and watch for no yards.
that's it. You're responsible for that dead ball line, and you're keeping an eye out for no yards in the end zone.
just before you, you leave the deep guys, right? The video that you're going to see tonight is the third one that I've used in the last few video sessions. And in all three of them, the indication whether the kick is good or not have not been there, or have been inaccurate signals, or have been broken wing signals. That signal of wide or successful is imperative for the cover team, for the return team, and for coaches. And if we don't get a signal, we don't know what the hell happens. And what it does is it then freezes your line of scrimmage guys who are coming down on coverage if they don't know what the play is.
That's right. And one of the videos we've seen this year, when you're underneath the post and you're giving your wide signal, get your back to that post. Because if you stay under your post and give your wide signal and stay at that post, you're putting yourself in danger from that returner in the end zone. So make a clear signal, like Al said, and get your back to that post.
The other thing to be sure to know is if the ball is coming down short, who's going out to cover? Who's going to be ruling on no yards? Who's going to stay in cover goal line?
And that's why it's so important in a six-man crew that these two deep officials have that all sorted out before even going on the field for opening kickoff. Really make sure in your pregame walk that you guys are on the same page as far as how you're going to be handling field goals. It's critical to get that right in this positioning. Let's move up to the line of scrimmage. So what responsibilities do the sideline officials have on pre-snap?
You still need your legal formation.
Still need to have our 7 guys on the line. Yeah.
It need to be in a fairly straight line, not perfectly straight, but fairly straight.
You can't have that bow. You can't have that bow kind of line, right? All right, so once the ball's kicked, what are these sideline officials doing from here?
Treat it like a punt. So you're held until the ball goes through or into the end zone.
Once that ball crosses the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah, you're going.
The line of scrimmage, okay? Once the ball crosses that line of scrimmage, now you're in that punt mindset kind of thing, Drew. what are their areas? So let's say we've got a wide field goal to this side of the field. Okay, we got a wide field goal here. What can these sideline officials be doing to help out the two guys underneath the poles?
Running back, just making sure there's no yards. If there's a crowd on the goal line, maybe stay out wide, make sure the ball gets out. Or did it stay in and was he tackled inside the end zone?
Yeah, you're going to make your way downfield and you're going to give support on this goal line, right? You're going to help support what's taking place on this goal line. Does that make sense? All right, let's talk about the umpire. Fowler, what can you tell us about the umpire here? What's the umpire doing on this kind of play? You're on mute, Fowler.
That's the best way to have them.
It's the only way to have it. First thing I'm doing, I'm making sure the center's protected. My half of the line is the half of the line that the referee is on. He's looking through kitty corner to the other half of the line. I read the lineman as to whether it's a good attempt or a poor attempt. If it's a good attempt, they're going to let up and I don't worry about anything. If it's a poor attempt, I try to dodge them for a little bit. Then when the majority have gone by, I'll turn and read the play, follow the play from the hash mark in or out. I'll still keep in my same plane and either do blocking or ball carrier as the play develops.
Okay. Al, do you want to talk about what the referee's looking after here?
No, I don't. So one of the points that's added there is that as if Jim's the umpire and I'm the referee, we have opposite side of the line responsibility in our initial setup. So when I'm standing in this position, I would be looking at the center guard tackle on the right-hand side of the line, no other side. And the umpire would be looking at center guard tackle almost in front of me. And it's based on where you line up. Once that ball snapped, then all of my focus now goes to protecting the holder and the kicker. I don't care what else happens at this point in time.
And I think that's pretty well it. Is there any other points that we need to make about this slide?
Did you go over fake field goals?
That's a great question, Wall. So what happens if we've got a fake field goal out of this? They line up in a field goal position and we have a fake. How are we reacting to that play?
Which way are you saying it's going to be faked?
Let's say we've got this receiver heading downfield here, and the holder takes the snap and throws the ball downfield to this receiver. What's the
your H official is responsible for that entire sideline, and the guy, the deep one under the right-hand side of the post does not move. He cannot move because he will get caught and get run over potentially.
What's really important for the referee to keep an eye for on that play?
The knee of the holder.
Knee of the holder. Why is that important?
Well, I've got two thoughts because I was right one night and wrong the same night. If the knee is down, then he is getting up in the act of getting up to throw it, he's good. But if his knee is down and the ball is down, I still think that he is down. The play is over.
So when he takes the snap and he gets the ball and his knee is on the ground,
Thank you.
it's dead.
I agree.
No,
No,
no, he can get
No.
up and run.
Yeah.
He can get up and pass.
if he plants the ball, I think is where the issue now becomes. So if I catch the ball as a holder and I pin it to the ground,
Right.
I don't think I can get up now. A couple of our other statesmen there may tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think there's anything that says that.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm just giving you my opinion.
So if I'm the holder, I go, my knee is down, I catch the snap, I see someone coming in, I then get up with the ball
Yeah.
because I know it's about to be kicked into the guts of somebody. What am I doing as the white hat? Am I killing it or letting that go?
He's
Let it
good.
Let it go. That's good.
Let it
He's
go.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good discussion.
I think the most important thing to recognize here is that in the case of a fake field goal or a fumbled snap or something, everybody has to immediately recognize what has happened, process in your mind what has happened and what you have to do to react to it. Whether it's the referee looking at the holder and seeing what he's done, or whether it's the held official, moving official, recognizing that they're getting up and passing or running. The big key, not only on this play, but on every play, is to read what is happening and react to what is happening and process what is happening and know what you have to do to be in position to officiate the play.
Could I ask one question to you guys that have worked deep more often than I do? Chris, you mentioned that if they run a fake, that the outside, the deep official underneath the right-hand upright, you say
Sorry,
he's
say
not
it-
under
Say
control?
it again. I'm sorry. Say it again. I'm at work and the radio is just blasting.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I don't think, Al, it's not that he's not going to move, it's that he's going to stay as the deep inside official.
Right.
And
Right,
have
so-
have the inside out look, and in this case, held official is going to be moving down the sideline with the
So because-
outside in.
Because he would have been on that sideline in the normal scrimmage play, his natural reaction is to go out and protect that pylon. But he cannot go out and protect that pylon because he'll get run over. So
Yeah,
that where the
he-
mouse is right now, he needs to basically officiate towards the held official and cover those plays. And the guy on the left-hand side ideally should go and loop back around to the dead ball line through the end zone, ideally.
Yeah, I agree with that, Wald. If it goes to your side on a fake, you're gonna stay inside and give that inside support. This official here, if at all possible, can roll around and help with the outside line here through the end zone. But this official has to be moving downfield to protect this sideline, as well as to help with the goal line coverage if it goes out of the corner.
And realistically, the held official should do that in the trail position because someone needs the feet.
Right.
Whereas the play before, that deep outside guy would have been on the goal line and would have had that position. So it's a natural reaction. When I work any game as a field judge, back judge, whatever, that's the conversation I have with my partner every time. If it's a fake, don't move.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where no matter how fast you think you are, we need to be careful and make sure that we're protecting ourselves.
Yeah. Good job, Chris. All right, that is field goals. We're gonna move on here. We got one more slide, and this is converts. So we've got our deep side guys. They're in the end zones around the numbers. around the numbers in the end zone. Sideline officials, you have different responsibilities on a convert versus the field goal. Let's just talk about that real quick. I want to hear from a sideline official. What are you looking for on the convert?
Depends if your back's to the holder or not, or if the holder's back's to you or not. If you're facing the holder, then you have the holder and the kicker.
Exactly. You still want to make sure you got your 7 men on the line. And the referee, Bubar, what's the referee doing in this diagram versus what he was doing in the field goal?
You're ruling if it is good or bad. You have the ball.
I got a quick question for white hats here on a convert. When do you blow your whistle?
As soon as it's kicked.
Yeah,
As soon as it's kicked.
because everything's done.
Right. And I've just noticed a couple times this year when I'm deep where on a convert, that whistle's not blown right away and it can cause confusion if it's wide or whatever the case may be. So as soon as the ball's kicked, we should be blowing our whistle.
I'd like to add something here for the umpire. I know you haven't gotten up there yet, but I'll forget by the time we get there. On a convert from a scrimmage position, not a kicked convert, the center does not get any special protection. Okay, so I know in a few games I've worked, I've heard umpires yell that in when we have a normal scrimmage lineup for a convert.
Yeah.
That center doesn't get any special protection. So if they line up in a scrimmage, I know we all do that regularly when they line up for kicks and whatnot, protect the center. If they're running scrimmage off a convert, he doesn't get protection.
Exactly.
I'll chuck in some free unsolicited advice for new white hats. Don't blow the whistle as the ball is being kicked. You will never hear the end of it from the kicker. So wait till that ball is gone and then blow it.
Yeah. Good point, Eric.
Yeah.
Can a center stay down infinitely during a convert?
He can play an ostrich as coaches are arseholes. Sorry, this has been recorded. He can be an ostrich if his coaches have advised him to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Stupid.
Tantramar center this year would snap the ball and hold his ankles and stay down. And he gets protection.
I think you have to be reasonable about this too. I think that the center, after he snaps the ball, has got to put himself in a position to defend himself. He can't stay down there forever.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if I've got a center and he's holding his ankles and he don't do a thing, he ain't getting a flag when he gets bowled over. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or whether it's wrong. He makes a reasonable effort to stand up. You need that.
Consider the intent of the rule, which is player safety. You're protecting the center while he's got his head down snapping the ball. But once that ball is gone, he can't stay down there and be protected forever. He's got to defend himself.
I know a lot of the centers and the minors are being told to stay down regardless.
Because the rule is that they are protected until they can protect themselves or until they prepare to protect themselves. If they stay down, the rule doesn't do anything other than give them protection. And that's what coaches are teaching them. Stay down. If you get hit directly, it's a foul. And kids will look at you like you have two heads and say, no, you get bumped into whatever, the ball's been long gone or so on. But coaches are teaching them to stay low.
They don't get protection in that case. It's like Jim says, you're holding your ankles and you get whacked. Too bad for you.
I fully agree with you and I support you and I do the same thing. But that's not what the rule says.
No,
Well,
agreed.
maybe
Agreed.
the coaches need to understand how we're going to rule on it.
Oh, just saying, Bill and Chris, that happens Friday or Saturday. I ain't doing nothing. I didn't see it. Sorry.
I'll buy you the beer.
Coaches shouldn't teach their kids to try to get hurt just for 15 yards.
Good point. But they saw it in the rule book and they think it's black and white.
A coach doesn't read a rule book. You know that.
No, they saw it in a presentation. Anyhow,
All right, we are gonna transition over to some videos now.
Ray, just before you do the videos, and everything that we've talked about up to this point really goes to the whole concept that before you show up in the dressing room for your game, you have got to be prepared. You know the position that you are assigned to. You need to know where you are responsible to be on given plays. When you step into the dressing room, whatever else you've got going on in your life, park it. Focus on what's going on and be prepared to support your team. Don't be that guy that is the weak link.
Ray, I don't know if you read the opening clip that I sent for the script for all of this thing, that what I did with the keys, the little text beside each of the pictures of the field, was I put a couple of blips for each position or group of positions. And when I came on, and we were talking about the punt, just listening, there were about 9 more key points that were brought up by guys on the video, on the Zoom. If, like Bill just said, if you're working a specific position, there's a manual that's available for you for 5, 6, 7, and elite football. You need to get into those to find out where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be going, who you're responsible for, and so on. And that it's not a fly-by-night activity on whatever game you're doing. And it's not hard to pick up when guys don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
And all those mechanics are on the Google Drive. So if you haven't signed up for the Google Drive yet, make sure you sign up for that, because everything you need is right on the drive. Okay, can everybody see the videos?
Okay, so I'll give you a little heads up on this as a kickoff. This is the first year in which we went to the new 6 official alignment. What you need to do is watch. The ball is going to be kicked to the right-hand side on our screen, looking at it on the right. Watch the motion of the left side of the screen. And then he's got his 2 sideline partners there. The umpire's directly across from him, and down we go. So just watch the referee, how he covers the play, and then watch what happens as the play develops by the 3 officials on the right-hand side of the screen. Okay, Ray, you can go ahead. So the referee comes in towards the center of the field. The 3 guys on the right-hand side all keep about a 12 to 15-yard buffer. And then they all close in on the play. The referee, all the foolishness in the sideline, get everybody out of there, and away we go. 94 will be the umpire in the UTEC Bowl at St. Yvette's. If the ball was kicked to the left-hand side of the field, the referee in a 6 official crew stays on the sideline and the umpire comes in. So that's on the 6 official crew. That's one little bit of a difference. Okay.
He doesn't move to the center of the field though?
On the 6, the referee / umpire will only move into the center if the ball is kicked away from them. Right. So in the video you just saw, the ball is kicked to the right-hand side. The referee comes in towards the hash marks. If the
Okay.
ball had been kicked to the left-hand side, the umpire would have come in.
Al, if the
Okay.
ball's kicked between the hash marks, who's coming into the middle?
Nobody, we're all staying out there. The
Just
referee's
stand up.
usually the one that will slide in there anyhow.
Okay,
But again, for a definite kick to a side, the referee and umpire switch.
okay, let's go to video number 2. Can you guys see this?
Okay, pause it. So short, this is one of the short kickoffs that we're seeing this year. This is done by KV. They do this type of short kickoff. They also do the little cooch one up in the air. And have become very good at it. So if you're working your game on the weekend, be prepared. A lot of the other teams are also doing the little bounce one up through the center. So this one's going to go about 15 yards downfield out towards the left-hand side, doesn't get all the way to the sideline. And just watch the way the guys cover it. They do a good job of covering this kick. Okay. So now when I put it together as a in part of the package, I said a no and short kickoff. So in this case, the guys haven't set up as if it's as a known short kickoff. If it was, how would the alignment be different? Okay, hold it right there. So if the guys all know this is going to be a short, how is the alignment different?
The line judge is up on their 55, the umpire's up 45, and the head linesman or down judge is on the 55 as well.
And everybody moves up. Okay. Now I don't know if this was a known short kickoff, but the guys do a pretty good job of covering it. In my
No, it
notes,
was not.
what?
This
It
game
wasn't
was the
covered?
first game. This was the first game of the year, and
Oh,
this
okay.
was this was them telling us that we weren't doing anything special. And I believe if Matt's on the call, you can probably verify that this was probably one of 3 attempts with the score quite out of hand.
Yep, it was.
So the only other note that I put in this, and you'll watch number 66 as he comes across the field when it goes dead, is that it's important to close down when the play goes dead, but also keep in mind our own safety. Use our eyes. You got Chris is there. I don't know who the line of scrimmage guy is and the deep side guy, but they're all closing in. Umpire wants to get over there and get the ball set, but there's still some bodies floating around. So be cautious. The scrimmage play run, it actually sets up like it might be a pass. So on this side, 22, Ray is our moving official based on the way in which the other guys are set up. The down judge on the far side is on the line of scrimmage. Our deep side guy standing about the 39-yard line out by the bleachers. So Ray's the free guy. And when the ball is snapped, you'll see Ray take a few steps down, which our moving official needs to do. And when it turns into a run, he stops and comes back. The deep inside official actually reacts and covers the players who run like it's a pass play. Away you go.
Essentially a whole week of foggy conditions across the lower Great Lakes. It's been hugging the lake shores. It's been
And then everybody closes down on the play. Just remember, if you're moving, get your feet moving. If you're the held guy, see it, stay there until you see what's happening. Deep outside, stay, read the play. Deep inside guy, and especially in this type of formation, be ready to release and cover those 2 guys running down the numbers. Okay, well done.
I just want to talk about this play here real quick. Watch the ball as it's going from the referee to the receiver.
From the referee.
See right there?
From the quarterback.
From the quarterback, sorry, to the receiver. Because we talk about this play a lot this year. What's the difference between this and putting your arm up?
Hand up.
It's a handoff. The hand's on the ball at the time that the receiver takes the ball. So if we've got a fumble, or if the ball comes out of the hands, we have a fumble there. Okay,
So go, just move it up a bit, Ray, right to about where your cursor, keep going. Okay, he comes across, let's say he flips it to him,
right.
flips it up in the air. Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going, stop. So the ball carrier is coming across, and if you look at the player in red who's between the center line and the 50, he is actually a target. If that ball was flipped to the running back, can he throw the ball to, I think it's number 3 in red?
No.
Quarterback flips the ball to the running back as he comes by. Can he throw
Forward?
the ball to number 3?
Is he
No,
flipping it forward?
that's the forward pass that Matthew Martin does all the time. He flips it, it's a forward pass. If he fumbles it, it's an incomplete forward pass.
Yeah, but if he catches that flip pass, can he throw it?
No,
No,
Not legally.
not not legally, correct.
You can't have 2 forward passes.
Exactly. So just so that we're aware, because there have been some teams asking about odd plays that they might be interested in running. So if he flips it there rather than handing it off, when he comes across here, he can't plant and throw the ball downfield. If he hands it off, as he does here, he can throw the ball.
And how do we know the difference if he's handed off or flipped it forward?
Sideline official set his hand up if it's pass.
That's right. If it's a flip forward, we got our hands up.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to point out before I go, and I don't know if it's a normal mechanic, but I do it. If I'm the referee and I see that and I know it for sure was a flip, I'm pointing my hand forward to give my line of scrimmage guys that sure confirmation that I'm saying this was considered a pass.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone else does that, but I try to give my guys a little bit of help if possible.
I will do it if I am absolutely certain that it's been a flip.
Yeah.
Right. All right, I have to go, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, have a good one, Chris. Take care.
All right, pass.
So in this play, we don't care about the referee. He's just there for the pitcher. Watch the line of scrimmage official on this side breaks. He's a moving official. The ball's throwing downfield, and the 2 guys cover the play. And they stay within 15 yards, which is pretty good for blinding speed. Okay, so the ball is thrown between the line of scrimmage and the deep inside official, well covered. The umpire on the play, you got to go back a bit. If you're the umpire, your first job is to referee where all of the conflicts occurring. So the umpire who's standing just about on the 45, a lot of conflict occurring in front of him. He looks in, the ball is now being moved, and in air, they come to a stop. And if they're okay, they will turn and watch the flight of the ball to give backup coverage on a completed or incompleted pass. The line of scrimmage official outstanding in front of the red bench is the hold official. They stay put. The sideline official, who is standing on about the 451 outside there, should be at this point in time moving downfield. Okay, so just a pass play that we need to cover, people knowing where they should be going, helping out, covering up, making sure that we're not focusing on ball, but watching stuff that's going on behind the play, as well as officiating the play as it goes downfield.
All right. Punt.
Umpires in the backfield. Patrick, are you on? Patrick here? No.
No,
Okay, so my suggestion, I was just going to say this to Patrick, my suggestion only, because of my comfort level as a referee, I'm lining up almost in line with the punter. So I would be standing back maybe a yard or two, facing towards the line of scrimmage. Then once the punter gets the ball, then I will turn and face him. The umpire is back there also to watch all the foolishness once the ball's been snapped. Boot it, line of scrimmage guys, what do you do? Question.
You're held until the ball crosses the line, then crash back as soon as it crosses the line.
Okay, hold on the line of scrimmage until it crosses and then move downfield under control. Deep guys, we should have one guy in the center of the field. The other guy should be out on the sideline. I believe this one goes to the, I can't remember. I have to watch all the way through now. This goes out towards the deep outside guy who is responsible for the ball and follows the play up. Deep inside guy moves in, assists with coverage from behind all the players that are there.
and
Everybody should, sorry,
Sorry, go ahead now.
everybody should be involved in coverage, especially on changes of possession, kicks, interceptions, fumble recoveries with returns. Nobody can take 1 second off on one of those plays because that's when crap happens. Okay,
So-
sorry, Ray, go ahead.
So like we were talking about during the slide, your deep official has the ball. Your sideline official is now the reverted deep official moving downfield, keeping the play in front of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, freeze. So we got two line of scrimmage guys here. Referee has the holder and kicker. The umpire has all the foolishness on the line. The two line of scrimmage guys are officiating, make sure that everything happens in there is good. They don't need to move until after the ball has crossed the line of scrimmage, but they must move. Okay, so the ball is now kicked. Was it good or not? Back it up, Ray. Was it good or not?
No signal. Watch under the post. So there was definitely communication because the outside guy is turning back. But the guy under the post, he's got to be the one with the clear, wide signal there.
So just before you roll it any further, if you are the deep official who is moving and the kick is into the end zone, you should maybe take a better line towards the dead ball line. And then you will follow the play up. You don't, if you are the moving deep official, you don't have to worry about the goal line. The goal line is being officiated by the other deep official, and the line of scrimmage guy should be coming down to assist also if need be. So at this point where the ball is now being caught by the kid in black in the end zone, the line of scrimmage official on this side standing in front of the downs box should almost be close to the 15-yard line. Okay, which means the release was too late. So you can carry it through. I want you to tell me who's got the spot where the ball went dead.
See, that's a problem because we don't have this official downfield. We've got nobody here to pick up that. Nobody here to pick up that spot. as well as all this garbage. Look how far we are from all this garbage here.
So before you roll any further, if you look at the two deep officials that are now moving towards us, the one who has the cursor on him right now, no, back, was the guy who should have been deep in the end zone. The other guy should have been covering the line of scrimmage. So as soon as the goal line. So as soon as the ball broke the goal line, they should have been coming up with the ball as opposed to waiting for it. And the guy who had been deep would have been trailing the play, coming up field to make sure that everything's being covered.
Yeah.
So again, and I don't mean to harp, yes, I am harping on this. Our field goal coverage has not been exceptional when it comes to mechanics. We're in good position. Most of the time we're moving, but we're not getting good signals underneath. We need the signal so everybody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Now, the guy on that particular play, the guy that was going back to cover the dead ball line, he should be moving over toward the sideline to help out
Yep.
the other sideline official.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So by going deep, Bill, so the guy who's under the right post, the guy that you just had your cursor on, Ray, if he takes a better line towards the dead ball line, when that ball starts to come out, he, as you say, can sort of belly out now towards the sideline. So now we've got a guy coming up close to the sideline. The line of scrimmage guy would have come down. So now we've got two guys on the line on the sideline, and the deep inside guy right there would have been coming up with the play. So you have two outside looking and one inside looking, and your umpire's going to be coming down now also.
Yeah. That's it. And it's like Al said, everybody's reaction goes by this official signal.
Yeah.
Right. All right, that's field goals. Two more.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. So this is a convert. It's pretty straightforward. The guy who's out on the sideline on the far side, the line scrimmage guy, has already given the indication that he's got holder kicker. So now the referee, all he has to worry about is where's the ball going after the guy kicks it. The referee does not have to worry about, once the ball has been snapped, about anything other than where does the ball go. The umpire watches the line of scrimmage. The rest of the referees are all hiding somewhere. So you got the three main guys in the picture. And as a referee, as a hint, when you give your signal, all you need to do is put your one finger up straight in the air. You don't have to turn and look at the scores table. Okay, players are all in front of you. They're the guys you want to watch. So that's the 6 official positioning stuff. Any questions, concerns? Did I lead anybody astray? Beauty.
Beauty. All
Okay,
right.
so there's one more video. And when I sent Ray the text, my comment was, don't let this roll yet. My comment was, post-game, those of us who were on the game, we joked about it. After it happened, we even needled the coach about it. But unfortunately, it is a play where we got caught. And how do we prevent ourselves from getting caught going forward? In the game, this game, it had no bearing on the outcome. It may have had some bearing on the feeling of success by one of the teams, but if it was a close game, this actually kept the drive going for the team in blue. So to give you a lineup of the play, we're on the 50, 51 yard line, 45, 50, no, 49 yard line. Blue is on offense. Blue has a wide out here with the red shoes on, who is on the line of scrimmage and is eligible. They have a slot back who is to the outside, but behind the tackle. He's right behind 23. You can't really see him right now. And then the next player on the line is number 61, the offensive tackle. So during the game, the quarterback for the blue team has been under pressure every stinking play where they try and run a pass. Nothing's different on this play, but the outcome of the play is different. How do we not get caught? Okay, Ray, you can just run it. So 28 was open, didn't throw it to him, but he threw it to 61. How do we not get caught on that? I'm on the sideline with Andrew. Neither one of us even thought about the possibility that that was thrown to an ineligible player. And we didn't even really think about it until a player actually asked me about it.
And look at the effort of that tackle, because he goes down to the ground here. Gets himself back to the feet and then comes across field to make that catch.
So what do we do, guys? It's a question. We got caught. Nobody's disputing that fact. But what are some hints that you all might have that would help us if it happens to somebody else this weekend?
Well, Al, this is where in a 6-man crew, you really have to know who your keys are and where your keys are going off the snap. And if 61 rolls out to the sideline to catch a pass like this, you've got to know, as that sideline official, who was on your side of the field and what the numbers were of the eligible players. Yeah, and there's got to be communication from the umpire too, and the fact that if there's players that are reporting, we got to make sure our sideline officials know that 61's eligible or ineligible.
Well, I think all of us that were on the game can tell you nobody reported.
Nobody reported.
So you talk about responsibilities and coverage on our keys. So I'm the deep sideline. I have 28, the kid with the red shoes.
Yeah.
Andrew has the slot back. Okay, those are
There's
our
a guy
fine.
There's a guy outside him too.
Pardon me?
There's another wide outside that guy. That guy's not on the line. There's another guy outside that you can't see to the left of the screen who's on the line.
Oh, really? We have another guy?
Yeah. So yeah, when you go back to the there's this guy, he's the slot back, and the guy you're responsible for is not on film right now, Gates. See, here comes number 20.
Okay, yeah.
He's number 1. This receiver's number 2, and then we have a third receiver coming up from there.
Okay.
So who's responsible for this third receiver?
Well, he wasn't a receiver, so that's what made it difficult.
Well, yes, this guy he would have been the slot back right behind the tackle,
Yeah.
the third receiver. He's going downfield right now.
This
He's
guy
on the-
right here?
Oh, yes, yeah. So it'd
Yeah.
be
This
the,
guy here?
Yeah.
Whose responsibility is he?
that'd be the sideline guy. He'd be the number 3 guy in, right?
No,
Deep inside.
Deep inside guy.
that would be the deep guy in the back in the backfield with the safeties. He has him. The sideline official has this receiver right here, the second one in.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have him and the deep sideline guy has this outside guy here. And
Who's got 61?
Who's got 61? Right? Well, if somebody sees 61 with the ball and he hasn't been reported, we got an illegal man downfield.
So after the play is over and somebody recognizes what has happened, are you going to throw a flag?
Sure.
Yes.
The 2 deep guys and that sideline official should get together to discuss this play. Where did 61 come from? He was the tackle. You throw a delayed flag and apply it as a legal man downfield.
So here's the hint that has come to me after watching this a number of times. UNB Fredericton just uploaded their huddle. The image is no better than this one. Is that on these plays where we get bodies flying around and we get a bunch of them, we really need to see who caught the ball. We need to identify who the player is. We didn't do that on this play, and I'm probably the most guilty of the guys on this sideline because of the years that I've been doing this, but it wasn't something that even crossed my mind. So
Me neither.
just something to be wary of going forward, that when we have a catch off of scrambles and whatnot, we need to take a few seconds to see who's got the ball in their hand. And as I say, we joked about this as a crew, and then I even threw some lighter fluid on the fire when we saw the coaches later on. So Andrew did a great job of putting the fire out though.
The key point to what Al was getting at there is, folks, a broken play.
Yeah.
And because on a set play, we're going to see a guy that goes downfield that's not supposed to 9 times out of 10. This was a scrambling mess, bodies going everywhere. And when the play was all done, no one knew who caught the ball because no one was really paying attention to that specific issue.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So
Take
Andrew,
two
just
extra
out of curiosity, your flag on that play, was that for a late hit on the quarterback?
Yes. And I don't think it should have been thrown after seeing that. But
The
anyway,
video doesn't help.
Yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen, that is an hour and a half. I think
Sorry.
that's enough study time heading into our final. Thanks again for everybody that joined. Congrats again on everybody that received semifinals and playoff final positions. Let's make sure, go back and read the overtime casebook, like I said, and let's be the best team on the field this week. Put the effort in. We've talked about it over and over. Know your position and be ready to go. I am going to stop the recording.